Ride-or-die besties Jada and Renee navigate a world of wealth and war when Renee marries into the powerful but notorious Kingston family. To protect her friend from the rumored dragon's den, Jada infiltrates the family by seducing the ruthless older brother, CEO Cairo the Ice Block Kingston, initiating a fake dating scheme to ward off her greedy parents. Little does she know, Cairo recognizes her as his lost love from 5 years ago. Let's head into it. The priest barely got the words out of his mouth. "Do you, Renee, take this man?" Before she could even breathe a yes, the heavy oak doors at the back of the church slammed open. It wasn't the wind, it was Jada. She marched down the aisle like she owned the building, ignoring the gasps from the hundreds of guests dressed in designer suits. She wasn't there to catch the bouquet, she was there to save a life. Renee looked like a deer in headlights. "Jada, what are you doing?" Jada didn't stop until she was face to face with the groom, Darius Kingston. He looked smooth, too smooth in his tuxedo. Jada pointed a finger right in his face. "You think you can just snatch my best friend up? I heard about you, Darius. I know about the models, the actresses, and the secret apartment downtown. If you think you're going to break her heart, you have to go through me first." The church went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop on the marble floor. Then a low, deep chuckle broke the tension. It wasn't Darius, it was the man standing beside him, the best man, Cairo Kingston. He didn't look like a playboy, he looked like a predator in a suit. His eyes were cold, calculating, and fixed right on Jada. "Security," Cairo said, his voice smooth like velvet over gravel. "Remove this woman." Jada spun around to face the big brother. She wasn't scared, she was furious. "Don't you touch me. I'm leaving, but Renee, you're making a mistake." Renee grabbed Jada's hand, tears in her eyes. "Jada, stop! I love him. He's not who you think he is." Jada froze. She looked at her best friend, really looked at her. Renee wasn't scared. She was happy. Jada had messed up, big time. But Jada was quick on her feet. If she couldn't stop the wedding, she had to join the family. She couldn't leave Renee alone in this snake pit. She looked at Cairo, then back at Renee. A plan formed in her head instantly, a crazy, dangerous plan. "Fine," Jada announced, smoothing her jacket. "I won't stop the wedding, but I'm not leaving. If Renee stays, I stay. Consider me the package deal." Cairo stepped forward, towering over her. "This isn't a buy one, get one free sale, miss." He paused, waiting for a name. "Jada," she snapped, "and you'd better get used to my face, Iceman, because I'm going to be your sister-in-law one way or another." Cairo smirked, a tiny, dangerous thing. Is that a threat or a promise? This is exactly why you need to subscribe to this channel right now, because the drama that is about to unfold between these two will make your jaw drop, and you don't want to miss a single second of this tea. The wedding continued, but the air had changed. Jada sat in the front row, watching Cairo like a hawk. He ignored her, focusing on his duties, but every now and then his eyes would flick to her. She felt a shiver go down her spine. It wasn't fear, it was excitement. She had picked a target, and Jada never missed. Getting close to Cairo wasn't easy. The man was a fortress. He was the head of surgery at the city's top hospital and the CEO of the family empire. He worked 20 hours a day. Jada tried the direct approach, calling him, blocked. She tried emailing, deleted. So she went with the classic, the damsel in distress. She waited in the lobby of his hospital for 3 hours. When she finally saw him walking down the corridor with a flock of nurses, she made her move. "Oh, my head!" she cried out, stumbling dramatically. She aimed her fall perfectly, landing right in his path. She waited for the strong arms to catch her. Nothing happened. She hit the floor with a thud. One eye cracked open. Cairo was stepping over her. Stepping over her! "Nurse," he said without looking down, "check her vitals. If she's faking, call security. If she's dying, call the mortar." He kept walking. Jada scrambled up, abandoning the act. "Hey, you heartless robot! I could have a concussion!" Cairo stopped and turned slowly. "Miss Jada, you seem remarkably energetic for someone with a concussion. What do you want?" Jada brushed off her knees. "I want to take you to dinner, as an apology, for the wedding." Cairo checked his watch. "I eat alone, and I don't date gold diggers who scream at weddings." "I'm not a gold digger. I'm a concerned citizen," Jada lied. "Look, Renee is in your house now. I need to know she's safe. I need to know you people aren't crazy." Cairo stepped closer, invading her personal space. He smelled like expensive cologne and antiseptic. "The only crazy person I see is the one faking a faint in my lobby. Go home, Jada. You're playing a game you can't win." He walked away, leaving her standing there fuming. But Jada noticed something. He didn't call security. He walked away, but he didn't kick her out. That was a win. A small one, but a win. She went home and cooked. If the direct approach failed, she would use the stomach. She made her famous lemon glaze cake. It was irresistible. The next day, she was back. This time, no fainting. She marched to his office and slammed the Tupperware on his desk. "Eat. It's poison-free, I promise." Cairo looked up from his files. He stared at the cake, then at her. "Why are you doing this?" Jada sat on the edge of his desk. "Because I decided I like you, and I always get what I want." Cairo opened the container. The smell filled the sterile office. He took a bite. His eyes widened just a fraction. It was good. Really good. "Fine," he said, putting the fork down. "You have 5 minutes. Talk." Jada smiled. She was in. Now she just had to make him fall in love before he realized she was ruining his life. The Kingston family dinner was like entering a lion's den. The house wasn't a house, it was a museum. Marble statues, gold frames, servants in uniforms. Renee looked nervous, holding Darius's hand so tight her knuckles were white. Jada walked in with her head high, wearing a dress she couldn't really afford, but she made it look like $1,000,000. The trouble started immediately. Sitting across from them was Lynette, a cousin with a face that looked like she smelled something bad. "So," Lynette said, loudly enough for everyone to hear, "this is the charity case Darius picked up, and she brought a stray dog?" She pointed her fork at Jada. Darius slammed his hand on the table. "Lynette, watch your mouth." Lynette laughed. "Oh, please, look at them. They don't know which fork to use. They're probably here to steal the silverware." Jada felt the heat rise in her chest. She picked up a butter knife. "I know how to use a knife, sweetie. Want a demonstration?" "Enough!" The voice boomed from the head of the table. It was Mrs. Kingston, the matriarch. She stood up, looking terrifying. Jada braced herself. Here it comes, the mother-in-law from hell. Mrs. Kingston walked over to Jada and Renee. She stared at them for a long, uncomfortable minute. Then she smiled. It was a warm, genuine smile. "Ignore Lynette," Mrs. Kingston said. "She's just jealous because she has the personality of a wet mop." The table gasped. Mrs. Kingston clapped her hands. "Bring the jewelry box." A servant ran over with a velvet box. Mrs. Kingston pulled out a diamond bracelet the size of a donut. "For Renee, welcome to the family." She pulled out another one, emerald this time. "And for Jada, for having the guts to stand up to my son at the wedding. I like a woman with fire." Jada was stunned. She looked at Cairo. He was hiding a smirk behind his wine glass. "Take it," whispered Cairo. "Mom hates boring people. You are definitely not boring." Lynette turned purple. "Auntie, you're giving them family heirlooms?" Mrs. Kingston waved her hand. "Shut up, Lynette. Eat your peas." The dinner turned into a party. Mrs. Kingston asked about their lives, ignoring the fact that they were poor. She loved their stories about the neighborhood. But Jada noticed Cairo watching her again. His gaze was intense, heavy. He wasn't laughing at the jokes. He was studying her, like a puzzle he couldn't solve. Later, in the garden, Cairo cornered her. "You charmed my mother. That's not easy." Jada leaned against a stone railing. "I'm charming. Get used to it." Cairo stepped closer. "My mother thinks you're here for me. Are you?" Jada looked him in the eye. "Maybe. Is it working?" Cairo didn't answer. He reached out and fixed a loose strand of her hair. His fingers brushed her cheek. It was electric. "Be careful, Jada. You might get exactly what you want." The high from the dinner didn't last long. The next morning, Jada got a call from her father. He wasn't calling to say hello. "Jada, girl, good news. Mr. Henderson agreed to marry you. He's rich, Jada. He's gonna pay off all my gambling debts."
Jada felt like throwing up. Mr. Henderson was 60 years old and had hands that were always sweaty. "I'm not marrying him," she screamed into the phone. "You can't sell me." Her dad laughed. "It's done. Wedding is next month. Or don't you care about your old man's legs?"
"Because the loan sharks are coming for them." He hung up. Jada sat on her bed, shaking. She needed an out. A big one. She called Cairo. "Meet me, now." He picked her up in a car that cost more than her parents' house. "You look terrible," he said, not starting the engine. "Thanks," Jada snapped. "I need a favor, a huge one. I need you to be my boyfriend." Cairo raised an eyebrow. "I thought you were already chasing me." "No, I mean officially, publicly, for a month," Jada explained, talking fast. "My parents are trying to sell me to a creep. If they think I'm with you, the Cairo Kingston, they'll back off. They won't dare cross you." Cairo tapped his fingers on the steering wheel. "And what do I get out of this?" I'll stop annoying you after the month is up. I'll disappear," Jada said, her voice cracking. "Please, Cairo, I don't have anyone else." Cairo looked at her. The mask slipped for a second. He looked angry. Not at her, but for her. "Who is he?" Cairo asked quietly. "Henderson, the construction guy." Cairo started the car. The engine roared like a beast. "Consider it done." Jada blinked. "Really? Just like that? You don't want money or sex?" Cairo shot her a look. "I don't pay for women, and I don't force them. We have a deal, but there are conditions." "Name them," Jada said, relieved. "You move in with me," Cairo said. "If we're dating, it has to look real. You sleep in my room. You go to events with me. You hold my hand." Jada swallowed hard. "Okay, deal." Cairo merged onto the highway, driving fast. "One more thing, Jada. Don't lie to me again. If you're in trouble, you tell me. You don't handle it alone." Jada looked at his profile. He looked like a superhero in the dark light. "Why are you helping me?" she whispered. Cairo didn't look at her. "Because 5 years ago, a girl stood me up, and I hate unfinished business." Jada frowned. "5 years ago? What are you talking about?" Cairo didn't answer. He just drove faster. Life with Cairo was confusing. He was cold in public, but at night, in the privacy of his mansion, he was attentive. He bought her clothes. He made sure she ate, but he never touched her. Not really. Just a hand on the back, a brush of the arm. It was driving Jada crazy. She was falling for him, and she knew it was a disaster waiting to happen. Then the disaster arrived. Her name was Bianca. Jada was at a film studio trying to get a small part in a drama to make some of her own money. She didn't want to rely on Cairo for everything. She was dressed as a maid for a scene when the doors opened. In walked a woman who looked like she was made of porcelain and diamonds. "That's Dr. Bianca," the director whispered reverently. "She's back from Europe. She's a medical genius and the Kingston family favorite." Bianca saw Jada and smiled. It was a shark smile. "Oh, you must be the little friend Renee brought in. Jada, right?" Bianca said, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "I heard you're staying with Cairo. How sweet. He's always had a soft spot for charity." Jada straightened her maid apron. "I'm his girlfriend." Bianca laughed. "Girlfriend? Oh, honey, Cairo doesn't have girlfriends. He has placeholders until I come back. We have history, real history, not just a transactional arrangement." Bianca stepped closer. "I know about the deal, Jada. I know about your debts. You're just a job to him." Jada felt small, smaller than she had ever felt. Was it true? Was she just a charity case? Before she could answer, Cairo walked onto the set. He was there to pick her up. He saw Bianca and stopped. The air dropped 10 degrees. "Bianca," he said, nodding. "Bianca!" Bianca ran over and hugged him. He didn't hug back, but he didn't push her away either. "I missed you," Bianca whispered, loud enough for Jada to hear. "I'm back for good. We can finish what we started." Cairo looked over Bianca's shoulder at Jada. Jada looked away, fighting tears. "I'll wait in the car," she mumbled, and ran out. That night, the mansion felt huge and cold. Jada packed a small bag. She couldn't do this. She couldn't be the placeholder.
Cairo found her in the bedroom. "Where are you going?" he demanded. "Away," Jada said. "Bianca is back. You don't need the fake girlfriend anymore." Cairo grabbed her suitcase and threw it across the room. "I decide who I need. You signed a contract." "Screw the contract," Jada yelled. "I have feelings, Cairo. I can't watch you be with her." Cairo grabbed her shoulders. "There is no me and her. There never was. It's always been—" He stopped himself. He looked frustrated. "Just stay, please." It was the please that broke her. She stayed, but she slept on the couch. A week later, the drama shifted to Renee. Renee called Jada at 2 a.m., sobbing. "He's cheating, Jada. I know it. He's at the Grand Hotel. He's been sneaking around for days." Jada saw red. She grabbed a baseball bat she kept under the bed, old habits die hard, and drove to the hotel. She met Renee in the lobby. "Let's kill him," Jada said. They marched up to room 402. Jada didn't knock. She kicked the door. It flew open. "Freeze, you dirtbag!" Jada screamed, raising the bat. Renee was right behind her, ready to throw a shoe. Darius was standing in the middle of the room, but he wasn't with a woman. He was holding a cake that said, "Welcome, baby." The room was filled with balloons, pastel pink and blue. Darius looked terrified. "Don't hit me," he yelled. "It's a surprise party." Jada lowered the bat. "What?" Renee looked around. "Who is the baby?" Darius smiled, looking shy. "Us. Renee, you've been sick every morning for weeks. You're moody. You're eating pickles with ice cream. I thought, aren't you pregnant?" Renee gasped. I thought it was just stress." She touched her stomach. "Oh my God." Darius dropped the cake and hugged her. "I'm going to be a dad." It was a beautiful moment. But then Cairo walked in. He had followed Jada because he tracked her phone. Protective or creepy? The line was blurry. "What is going on?" Cairo asked, looking at the mess. Darius grinned. "I'm going to be a father. Renee is pregnant." He looked at Cairo. "Beat that, big brother." Cairo looked at Jada. His eyes were challenging. Jada, caught up in the adrenaline and the competition, blurted out, "Well, so am I." Silence. Absolute silence. Cairo stared at her. "What?" Jada panicked. Why did she say that? They hadn't even slept together. "I mean, I might be. Symptoms, you know." Cairo walked over to her slowly. He cornered her against the wall. "Is it mine?" he whispered dangerously. Jada gulped. "Who else's would it be?" Cairo didn't look mad. He looked proud. He turned to Darius. "Make room in the nursery. We're having one too." He grabbed Jada's hand and dragged her out of a room. "We're going to the doctor now." Jada was dead. She was so dead. The car ride was silent. Jada was sweating. How was she going to fake a pregnancy at the doctor? "Cairo, stop," she said. "I lied. I'm not pregnant." Cairo slammed the brakes. The car screeched to a halt on the side of the road. He turned to her. "I know." Jada blinked. "You know? Then why did you play along?" Cairo reached into the glove compartment and pulled out an old tattered sketchbook. He tossed it into her lap. "Open it." Jada opened the book. The pages were filled with drawings, sketches of a city park, a street food vendor, and a girl with braids, laughing, eating ice cream. It was Jada, but she looked younger. "Who drew these pages?" Jada asked, her heart pounding. "I did," Cairo said softly. 5 years ago in Jing City. You were working at a coffee shop. I was a medical student. I came in every day just to see you. We talked for hours. We made a promise to meet at the station on your birthday. I waited all night. You never came." Jada felt a sharp pain in her head, flashes of memory. A coffee shop, a quiet boy with a sketchbook, then headlights, screeching tires, darkness. I was in an accident," Jada whispered, tears streaming down her face. "On my birthday, I hit my head. I lost a month of memory. I didn't know it was you." Cairo looked at her, his eyes filled with 5 years of pain. "I thought you ran off with someone else. I thought you played me. When you showed up at the wedding, I wanted to hate you, but I couldn't." He reached out and cupped her face. "Do you remember now?" "Bits and pieces," Jada cried. "I remember your eyes. You looked sad back then, too." Cairo leaned in, his forehead resting on hers. I'm not sad anymore, but you owe me, Jada. You owe me 5 years. He kissed her. It wasn't gentle. It was desperate, hungry, and full of fire. It was a kiss that sealed her fate. She wasn't going anywhere. Of course, happiness couldn't last. The next day, Jada was snatched off the street. A black van, a bag over her head, the whole movie cliché. She woke up in a warehouse. Her parents were there, looking guilty, and Bianca. Bianca was standing there with a smug look. You really thought you could win? Bianca laughed. Cairo's loyal, but he's not stupid. Once he finds out your parents sold you to me for a check, he'll be disgusted. Jada struggled against the ropes. You're insane! You kidnapped me? Bianca shrugged. I'm just helping you leave. There's a boat waiting. You're going to South America. Bye-bye, Jada.
Jada's parents wouldn't look at her. It's for the best, baby, her dad mumbled. She paid off the debts. Jada screamed, I am not a commodity! Suddenly, the metal doors of the warehouse exploded inward. A jeep rammed through them. Cairo jumped out before the car even stopped. He wasn't wearing a suit. He was in a black t-shirt, and he looked like the god of war. He had a metal pipe in his hand. The thugs charged him. Bad mistake. Cairo moved like water. Crack, thud, 2 guys down. Bianca screamed, Cairo, stop! She was leaving you! Cairo ignored her. He walked straight to Jada. He untied her ropes with trembling hands. Did they hurt you? He asked, his voice shaking with rage. I'm fine, Jada sobbed, throwing her arms around him. Cairo held her tight, then turned to her parents. Run, he said. If I see you in this city again, you won't have legs to walk on. Her parents ran. Then he turned to Bianca. Bianca was trembling. Cairo, I did it for us. She's trash. Cairo walked up to Bianca. He didn't hit her. He did something worse. He pulled out his phone. I recorded everything. Kidnapping, extortion. You're not a doctor anymore, Bianca. You're a felon. The police are outside. Sirens wailed in the distance. Bianca fell to her knees. Jada looked at Cairo. You came. Cairo kissed her forehead. I told you, unfinished business. 2 weeks later, the scandal was over. Bianca was in jail. Jada was safe. But there was one last hurdle. The public. The rumors were still flying that Jada was a gold digger and Cairo was still in love with Bianca. They had to attend the annual Kingston gala to set the record straight. Jada was nervous. She wore a gold dress that hugged every curve. She looked like a trophy, but she felt like a fraud. Head up, Cairo said, taking her arm as they stepped onto the red carpet. You're a Kingston now. Act like you own the place. They walked in. The cameras flashed blindingly. Reporters shouted questions. Cairo, is it true she was a waitress? Jada, did you trick him? Suddenly, a woman from the crowd, one of Bianca's friends, threw a drink at Jada. Homewrecker, she screamed. The red wine splashed onto Jada's gold dress. The room went silent. Jada froze, humiliated. She waited for Cairo to step away, to be embarrassed. Instead, Cairo took off his tuxedo jacket. He wrapped it around her shoulders. Then he turned to the crowd. He grabbed a microphone from the stage. Listen closely, Cairo's voice boomed. This woman is not a homewrecker. She is the only reason I'm human. She saved me from a life of cold ambition. If anyone disrespects her, they disrespect me. And if you disrespect me, you lose your business with the Kingston Empire. He looked at the woman who threw the drink. Security, ban her for life. He turned to Jada, right there on stage. I love you, Jada. I loved you 5 years ago when you had nothing, and I love you now. Will you marry me? For real this time. He dropped to one knee. Jada cried, ruining her makeup. Yes, you idiot, yes! The crowd erupted. Even the haters clapped. It was the power move of the century. 6 months later, the Kingston mansion was chaos, but happy chaos. Renee was huge, waddling around with twins. Jada was right behind her, 5 months pregnant, for real this time. They sat in the nursery, drinking sparkling water. Can you believe we made it?
Renee asked, rubbing her belly. "We went from eating noodles in a cup to this." Jada laughed. "Girl, look at them." She pointed to the corner. Cairo and Darius were on the floor, surrounded by instructions for a crib. They were arguing. "It's a screw, Cairo, not a bolt." "I'm a surgeon, Darius. I know anatomy. This leg is backwards," Cairo shouted back. The fierce CEO brothers were defeated by IKEA furniture. Jada walked over to Cairo. "Need help, genius?" Cairo looked up, sweat on his forehead. He smiled, that rare, genuine smile that was only for her. "I'm handling it, just resting my eyes." He pulled her down for a kiss. "How's the baby?" "Kicking. I think she's practicing karate, just like her mom." Cairo put his hand on her stomach. "Good. She'll need it to handle those two." He pointed to Renee's twins. The rumors were true. The CEO brothers were fierce, but they were also soft, loving, and completely wrapped around their wives' fingers. Jada and Renee didn't just marry into wealth, they conquered it. And as Jada looked around the room filled with love and laughter, she knew one thing for sure. The rumors didn't know the half of it. If you enjoyed this story, share your thoughts in the comments, like and subscribe for more.